The most pointless trade in NBA history just went down that I am just trying to make absolute sense out of, because Woj just dropped one of the fattest freaking bombs that I've ever seen as the Houston Rockets are officially blowing it up. So what's going on, everybody? Your boy Mike here with my fourth video of today. Do your boy a favor, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe and turn on our notifications, because I'm bringing you everything today. Whether it's a LeBron James extension, LiAngelo Ball signing with the Detroit Pistons, Larsa Pippen dating Malik Beasley, and now the Houston Rockets trading Russell Westbrook. Also, we are dropping a brand new career simulation on TheFlightMike TV. You're going to find that in your end screen at the conclusion of this video. Now that we got that out of the way, cue the intro. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Guys, we heard a while ago that the Houston Rockets are looking to blow it up, and it appears as though they finally found the solution to their Russell Westbrook problem. And with all due respect, none of this makes sense to me at all. So I'm going to be hoping that you guys can make logical sense out of this trade for me, because according to our man, Adrian Wojnarowski, the Houston Rockets have decided to trade Russell Westbrook to the Washington Wizards for John Wall and a first-round pick. Now, let me try to make sense of this for you guys the best way that I could. You see, this was a rumored trade for quite some time, and the reason why I felt like it was a little strange is because Russell Westbrook and John Wall have the same exact playing style. The only difference is John Wall hasn't played a game of basketball in damn near 2 years because of a torn Achilles that he is recovering from, which he is rumored to be looking really good at currently. And Russell Westbrook, on the other hand, has a rock bottom stock, mainly because he underperformed in a playoff series when he was teamed up with James Harden. Now, I'm going to tell you, in terms of contracts, these players are exactly the same. So it's not about getting out of each other's contracts. Rather, it has significantly more to do with the fact that Houston is probably desperate to keep James Harden, or they're going to completely punt on James Harden within the next week. And they're either going to try to experiment with John Wall complimenting James Harden, who, although he's not known for his ability to shoot three-pointers, if we look at John Wall's statistics, and I really don't know how much stock we could put into this because it's been a while since John Wall has last played a full season, but going back to the 2017 to 2018 NBA season, John Wall attempted 4.1 threes per game, and he shot 37% from three. Now, a lot of NBA players have been running with John Wall in the offseason, and apparently he looks really good and really lean, and he recently tore his Achilles, and he's a player that is 100% dependent upon his athleticism to get baskets. Now, if he's smart, which I'm sure he is, this is his craft after all, he would have probably said to himself, listen, my Achilles is torn, my athleticism is sapped, I'm no longer the player that I once was. In order for me to make this work, in order for me to continue my career, I gotta get better at shooting. He has improved as a three-point shooter throughout his career, though it's not necessarily his bread and butter. So if you ask me, in terms of the ability to shoot threes, you are definitely getting an upgrade over Russell Westbrook, who's a 27% shooter from three last year, who was a very awkward fit next to James Harden. But regardless, make no mistake, John Wall is primarily a slashing point guard. Now, you could either make the argument that they're potentially pairing John Wall with James Harden, which is fantastic, or you could say that the Houston Rockets are going to try to move on from James Harden altogether and build a temporary team around John Wall that isn't really going to be 100% competitive, but is still going to be respectable. This is still a very good product to put in front of James Harden and to team up with James Harden, because they went out and they got DeMarcus Cousins, they went out and got Christian Wood, and there's going to be a lot of nostalgia here as well, because Russell Westbrook is going to Washington to play with his old coach from his opening seasons in OKC with Scott Brooks, but John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins both reunite as they were teammates on the Kentucky Wildcats during the 2011 NCAA basketball season. So all I'm wondering is what's going to happen if you're James Harden? Do you look at the Houston Rockets and say, wow, this is a team that I am willing to run it back with. The Houston Rockets are doing their best to appease me. I'm going to give them another chance, because chances are the Rockets aren't just going to automatically give up on James Harden. Nor should they, to be honest. I don't think any team will get the Rockets the return that they want in return for James Harden. So if you ask me, I think it'd be really nice to see this team. Christian Wood, DeMarcus Cousins, John Wall, and James Harden are definitely a team that could compete in the West. This is a significantly different looking team in a brand new regime, because they went out and they hired Steven Silas in the offseason as well. Now, on top of that, I have to give kudos to the Houston Rockets, because they also are able to net a first-round pick by doing this. Now, if you're the Washington Wizards, you're probably thinking, hey, we don't really know how good John Wall is. We don't want to take that risk, because when John Wall was playing with Bradley Beal at full strength, that still wasn't enough to make a push to the Eastern Conference Finals, or the NBA Finals for that matter. The East is very, very weak right now. This is Bradley Beal's team. This is a move that shows this is Bradley Beal's team. On top of that, John Wall was rumored to have been very disgruntled with the things that were going on in Washington, and with the fact that they were even offering such a trade to begin with. I think personally, this is a very wonky trade. I think Russell Westbrook has an opportunity to compete. He might be a better fit with Bradley Beal, because Bradley Beal is known more for his ability to shoot. He could spot up next to Russell Westbrook, which I believe will open up the game for Russell Westbrook a little bit more as well. But I think the best part about this trade is the amount of nostalgia we're going to see. I've always wanted to see DeMarcus Cousins and John Wall reunite with one another. I wonder if this was in the works to begin with DeMarcus Cousins opting to sign with the Houston Rockets in the very beginning. All in all, the next thing we have to look out for is how James Harden feels about all of this. He said multiple times that the trade rumors about him were known to be cap and were known to be fake. So is James Harden still going to demand a trade despite all this? Or are these enough transactions and moves for him to say, hey, I'm willing to give this another go. The team's significantly different around me this year. You guys clearly want to still win a championship and run it back. At the end of the day, I think the Houston Rockets got significantly deeper with this trade. At the very worst, you pretty much get the same thing you were getting in before, but a first-round pick. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. Aside from that, I'm your boy, TheFlightMike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.